Hi, I'm Michael and welcome to Aka-tamenuri Studio. I bought my grail pen. It's Nakaya, as you can probably guess, and you know my taste, and it's Dorsal Fin second version. And I wanted to share it with you because I'm quite excited. I have already inked it, but I will make some kind of unpackaging. So, as usual with Nakaya, it comes in a paper box, and quite unusual paper with this like strands of some fabric inside, but I will probably throw it away. But the internal box is much more interesting because it's made of paulownia wood and it has some nice prints here and a stamp, a seal, like very typical for Japan, and small logo of Nakaya. To tell you the truth, I am not sure what's written here. I need to check it. But the wood the box is made of is a paulownia wood. Paulownia wood is much stronger for the same wave than balsa wood. It's very light and very strong at the same time. Inside you can see it's some soft fabric and package of blue-black cartridges from Nakaya because it's a cartridge converter pen. And there was a converter, and here it is, as usual, in a wrap, like a kimono, and you close it like this. All Nakaya pens come with such kimono, such wrap, and I even bought some additional ones for other pens because I like it very much. And inside there is a pen. Dorsal Fin. It's a second version of this pen because the first one had just one fin and it was not at the end of the pen but in the middle of the cup. The purpose of this fin was a roll stopper. This pen does not roll off the table. Most clipless pens without any roll stoppers can roll off the table. Dorsal fins can't. This pen began life as a round pen. It's an ebonite, of course, but it began life as a round pen, and those two fins, here, and this shape here, was made by building up urushi layers. It can take several months. Some people say it's up to a year, but it's impossible. I don't think so. It takes up to a year because it's probably some sumiko powder or something like that is used for building it, and it should be much faster. But layer after layer, it's built up and shaped, and once the shape is similar to this one here, it's lacquered. This one is lacquered in Aka-tamenuri finish. So red and then covered, the base is red, probably some kind of nakanuri with shu pigment, which is cinnabar or vermilion or maybe some other additives like a iron oxide or something like that, and then polished and covered with several layers of pure kijiro urushi, probably in this case, so natural color urushi, maybe with some small additive of black urushi. This final layer is semi-transparent, semi-translucent, so you can see that it is differently translucent depending on the area. So while polishing the pen, the more pronounced areas like edges and any sharp turns, or even in some other flat places, and especially around the threads, are polished slightly more, and the red from below the final layers shows through better. It's a tamenuri effect. Tamenuri means pool painting or lake painting or pond painting, depending on the translation. But it behaves just, it looks like a water in the pool. Where it's shallow, you can see the bottom better. When it's deep, it's darker and you cannot see the bottom as well. The shape is very unusual, and I like it very much. I waited for this pen quite long. First I waited just to decide. I couldn't decide, I couldn't pull the trigger. I was really into this pen, I loved it. And finally I decided to buy it, and this one was bought at Ackerman, in Holland, and I waited for it for some time, quite a long time. It was several months, but here it is. I already inked it and put it back to the box just to show it. And this time I decided to go with a broad nib, and on other Nakaya pens I have a soft medium and medium nibs, and I like this nib very much. I will make a short writing sample. I will not concentrate on the writing characteristics of this pen because it's not my thing to do. I will concentrate on urushi. So it's a Nakaya Dorsal Fin version 2 with a broad nib, and the ink, it's very smooth, but it has a little bit of feedback like most Nakaya and platinum nibs. And ink here is also from Ackerman, and it's Gourmet Pens Pink. It's a second ink created or designed by a couple, and first one was Esbury Brown, one of the best browns I ever used, and I love it. I use it quite a lot. I bought it like a year or a year and a half ago, and now it is joined by Pink. The same series, incredibly beautiful and at the same practical bottles from Ackerman, and with the small stamp here, the sticker stating what ink is inside. And what is nice about those bottles is that they have special container here with the small glass ball which cuts off this area here, so you can fill the pen even if the bottle is almost empty, and it's quite convenient. But at the same time I like just the shape of this bottle. Let's get back to the pen. What is funny, as usual with asymmetrical pens, and it is asymmetrical, there are many different ways to close it. So there is a proper way where when the fins align, as you can see here, but you can close it in 4 different ways because it's a 4-start thread as far as I noticed. So you can start it like this, close it like this, and like this is proper way, and like this, and those 2 fins facing in completely opposite directions. All other ways of closing it do not make any sense, but it can happen all the time because when you close the pen in a hurry, it just closes this way. But there is one way to close it always the right way. So if you keep the cup, the fin up, and keep the barrel, the fin down, it always closes the right way. Aka-tamenuri finish. Aka-tamenuri finish on this pen is absolutely beautiful. I was stunned when I opened the box. It's incredible. As you can see, it's not even. It changes. It has some areas where it looks slightly different, more red, less red. And that is what I like about Nakaya pens. I've seen Aka-tamenuri on some other pens, like even Platinum or Sailor, and it's too perfect. It looks like it was made by a machine or something like that. I'm sure that they are made by hand, but what's typical for Aka-tamenuri is the very, very small differences in the depth of in the thickness of the final layer shows a lot, and they should be seen. So I prefer this finish much better than, for example, Sailor King of Pen in Tamenuri, which was released last year. Aka-tame, as far as I remember. It's too smooth, too perfect, and I'd say it's even 50 or 60% more expensive than this dorsal fin. It's absolutely absurd from my point of view, because technique is the same, and it's this is much nicer pen. Maybe the nib on the cup is better, or maybe not better, but different, bigger, or whatever. But I would take this pen anytime, or even two of them for the price of one Aka-tame from cup from Sailor. And as you can see, all the edges, all the areas where there is some curve or turn, especially the ends of the pen and area near the thread and this lip here at the nib, and every place where there is a sharp turn or curve or edge shows this red color much better, and everywhere where you could expect the lacquer would pool or gather during the lacquering and would be more difficult to polish, like this area here, they are darker. The color is beautiful, and it will change. It will change a lot with time. It will be, at the same time, the final layers will become more translucent, but at the same time the color of this red middle layers will become deeper. So it will change, and I will observe it with pleasure. I have a Aka-tamenuri decapot, and it changed a lot. I made several pictures to document this, and I like it. So, to tell you the truth, I don't know what's the grail pen for me now. I have this one, I'm excited, and I love it. I think I will use it as my daily pen, because I do not believe that having an expensive pen makes it more suitable for the drawer or the desk. I will take it with me to the office and anywhere I could think of using it. And what now? I don't know what's next, but probably some kind of a maki-e or Raden or something like that. But for now, I think I will concentrate on matching this quality of finish from Nakaya. And I need to improve a little bit to match it, and right now I'm making two Aka-tamenuri pens, and so we'll see. I think they use quite bright red for the underlayer, and it makes me thinking how to change my technique and improve. What is funny, I had some urushi pens before I started working with urushi, but once I started working with it, with lacquer and lacquering pens, I see much more. I see much more in those pens. I see technique, I see brush strokes under the magnifying glass. I see areas where the artist went a little bit too far with polishing and was correcting it with a second layer or following layer. I see technique of polishing in different places, and I use I could be a freak, but I take any occasion I have to handle an urushi, maki-e, Raden pen from any producer in the world, even if it's not mine, it's in a shop or my friends or somebody I just met and want to see the pen because we met online and I have an opportunity to handle it. I use 25 times magnifying glass and study the pen for 1 hour and inside out. And just from handling it, just from looking at this pen and studying every part of it, once you do some urushi, you learn a lot from such occasions. Okay, so in one of the future videos, very soon, I will make a small comparison of 3 Nakaya pens I have and 3 Nakaya nibs. And it will be a decapot, a dorsal fin, and cigar in the fatter, the girthier version, 17 millimeters. and with 3 different nibs, medium, soft medium, and broad in this case. I just should mention that broad in this pen is, I'd say it's thinner than medium on Pelikan. It's like a Pelikan Fine. I'd say something in between Pelikan Fine and Pelikan Medium, and that's funny. It's quite usual thing with Japanese pens, but it's always surprising to open the pen and to ink it and see how different those Japanese nibs are from European. Okay, that's it for today. See you in one of my future videos, especially the one with comparison of those pens. And bye. See you later.